Welcome. Take a slow breath and allow yourself to enter a space of quiet openness. Today I invite you into a teaching that belongs to one of the most ancient and profound dimensions of spiritual practice, the conscious cooperation with the living intelligences of creation. This book is not about belief, it is not about mythology, it is not about symbolic spirituality, it is about relationship, a living relationship with the subtle administration of the universe. According to the deeper spiritual editions, creation is not mechanical, it is not random, and it is not empty. It is completely alive. Behind the visible world exists a vast hierarchy of conscious forces, intelligences that sustain order, guide development, and express divine principles across all planes of existence. These are what we may call the spirits of the spheres, beings of cosmic consciousness, embodiments of specific virtues, powers, and functions within creation. This book opens the door to conscious cooperation with them, not as superstition, not as fantasy, but as disciplined spiritual interaction. And to understand why this matters, we must first understand the deeper structure of human life. Every incarnation unfolds within a meaningful framework, a life plan shaped by karmic learning, evolutionary necessity, and divine purpose. Within this framework, human experiences is not entirely fixed, but it is not entirely free either. There is a range of possibility, a field of experience, and within that field support is available. Spiritual evolution is not meant to be isolated effort. It is supported, it is guided, and it is strengthened. The great insight of this teaching is simple but transformative. You are not alone in your development. You never have been. The spiritual path is a cooperative movement between human aspiration and cosmic assistance. The book gently guides the reader into understanding the nature of these spiritual intelligences. They are not bound by time or space. They perceive reality from a higher level beyond ordinary human awareness. They respond not to force, but to alignment of intention, purity, sincerity, and purpose. Relationship with higher beings is not based on control, it is based on resonance. And this is one of the most important initiatory shifts presented in the teaching. The major seeker tries to command, the major seeker learns to harmonize. True spiritual authority does not arise from domination, it arises from participation in divine order. The book then unfolds the inner path of cooperation itself. The path is not abstract. It is practical, structured, and deeply experiential. You are guided to clarify your intentions, to understand your needs, to refine your wishes into meaningful spiritual requests, and then to connect, through attention, through focused awareness, through sacred symbols that function as living gateways of contact. The mind, when purified and concentrated, becomes a bridge between dimensions. Communication becomes possible. Guidance may arise as intuition, inspiration, inner knowing, subtle energetic transformation, or direct empowerment of consciousness. What begins as prayer deepens into dialogue. What begins as belief becomes experience. As you continue on this path, something remarkable happens. Qualities within you begin to awaken. Imagination becomes creative power. Faith becomes a force of realization. Gratitude becomes magnetic alignment with higher order. Abilities can be strengthened, inner structures can be refined, obstacles can be clarified and transformed. The book presents many fields in which cooperation becomes possible: life direction, protection, inspiration, knowledge, healing, spiritual training, and the gradual unfolding of mastery. But beneath all techniques lies a single essential principle. Spiritual evolution accelerates when the individual aligns consciously with the intelligence of creation itself. And this is why this teaching is profoundly relevant today. Modern humanity lives largely cut off from the living structure of reality. Many seek growth only through personal effort, psychological analysis, or intellectual understanding. Yet the deeper traditions have always known transformation is not achieved alone. It is supported through connection with higher order. To rediscover this is to restore a lost dimension of spirituality, the dimension of living cooperation with the sacred architecture of existence. This book is for sincere seekers, for those who feel guided, for those who sense unseen support, for those who are ready to move beyond theory into participation. It is for the spiritual student who wishes to become conscious of the forces that guide evolution. It is for those who feel called toward mastery, not through isolation, but through alignment. Ultimately, this teaching prepares the individual to move from being a passive experiencer of life to becoming a conscious participant in the unfolding of divine order, from separation into cooperation, from effort into resonance, from seeking help into becoming a vessel of higher intelligence. This is why the book is not merely instruction, it is initiation, a gateway into conscious relationship with the living cosmos. And if you feel something stirring within you as you listen, if you sense recognition rather than curiosity, then perhaps this teaching is already calling you. You may now continue your journey by reading the book and entering more deeply into its field of wisdom. If you feel ready for direct training, you may receive structured initiatory practice through for mystics. And if your path calls for further, you may walk the way of disciplined spiritual development within Ordo Mysticus. Each step is opening. Each opening is deepening. Walk with awareness, walk with sincerity, walk with reverence for the living intelligence that surrounds and supports you. And may your path unfold in wisdom, love, and power. Love, light, and service. I am Ray del Sol.